In this video, I'll teach you a little trick you can use with your Google Shopping ads that led to a huge increase in revenue at a higher ROAS for one of our clients. Hey, I'm Daryl from BigFlair.com. Over at my PPC agency BigFlair, one of the things we're always doing is testing out new ways to make clients more profit through their Google ad campaigns. If you've seen my videos before, you'll probably know I like to give catchy names to all our processes, so I'm calling this one ROAS Tiering. What happened when we started ROAS Tiering our clients' smart shopping campaigns was we saw a whopping 220% increase in revenue at a 20% improved return on ad spend, all within the space of 1 month. First up, let me explain to you what kind of situation you need to be in for this to work for you. There are two main requirements. Firstly, you need to be running either smart shopping ads or standard shopping, but with Google's target ROAS automated bidding enabled. Secondly, this strategy is for you if your e-commerce Google Ads account has a bunch of different products all lumped together in one same campaign, and those products are getting a variable ROAS in that campaign, meaning some of them are getting a much higher ROAS and others are getting a way lower performance. So, are you still with me? If you are, then I'm guessing this situation sounds a bit like you. The one issue with having your products all grouped together like this is that Google's bidding algorithm only cares about your average ROAS, not the ROAS of any individual products in your campaign. That means if you set a target ROAS of 300%, Google is going to work to make the average ROAS of your campaign equal to 300%. While that may sound fine in principle, an issue can come up when some products naturally perform much higher than other products. For example, if you have two products in that campaign, and let's say one performs at 1000% ROAS, then Google could potentially allow the other products to perform at a really low ROAS, say 150%. And as long as the average between the two is 300, it won't care a bit if that low ROAS product is actually losing money. This is an issue if your break-even point for the low ROAS product is 200%, say, because in that scenario, you are now losing money and Google is continuing to blast spend on that product that is actually a loss maker. The solution here is to take a bit of control back from Google. And the way you do this, split your products into a few separate campaigns and aim each campaign at a ROAS target that makes sense considering your break-even point and your product performance. Here's a look at how we did it in one of our accounts. We broke the original smart shopping campaign up into 4 separate campaigns based on their previous ROAS performance. For products that had been performing above 300% ROAS, we stuck them in the top campaign named High ROAS. We also set a ROAS target in this campaign of 275%. This target was lower than their previous performance level, and the idea here was that we wanted Google to bid higher CPCs on those products to expand their overall volume. The mid-ROAS tier campaign was for products that were between 200 to 300%. These guys were middle of the pack, and they got a ROAS target of 200%, which is comfortably above break-even point for this client. For the low ROAS campaign with products doing 100 to 200% ROAS, we aimed them bang on the break-even point, which was 153% for this client. For loss ROAS, these are the ones that were previously losing money, and for these ones, we simply set the bid strategy to maximize conversion value without a ROAS target to try and get as much revenue for the available budget we gave it. What happened next was quite awesome. The high ROAS products ended up spending more and keeping a high ROAS, resulting in more profit and higher impression share. Meanwhile, the low and loss ROAS products that had previously all struggled to get above break-even, well, they jumped up and are now comfortably performing above the break-even ROAS, resulting in more revenue and profit overall. Alrighty, so you're probably wondering how to implement ROAS tiering for yourself. Here's a quick rundown on how to do that. Step 1 is to review your product level ROASs. Head over to your main shopping campaign. Click over to the products view, then rank the products by descending order of cost. Make sure you have the column showing for ROAS. Now, scan down the ROASs for your top spending products. Is there a huge variance there? Are some products getting a really high ROAS, while others are much lower? Are there products in there that are actually performing under your break-even ROAS? If yes, proceed to the next step. Now you want to create new shopping campaigns and start segmenting your products into ROAS tiers based on their previous performance. Do keep the old campaign active. It has the most data in it, so it won't require as much of a learning period after the change. I recommend that for your top tier products, you leave those in the existing campaign and rename it to the high ROAS campaign. For the lower tiers, create new campaigns for those and move the other products into those campaigns. I recommend creating a structure of anywhere from 2 to 5 campaigns. It depends how many products and conversions you get and how variable the ROAS is. Campaigns with hundreds of products that get hundreds of conversions per month or more with a wide variance in ROAS can tolerate a 5 campaign structure, in my opinion. But if you have, say, 10 products and you get like 50 conversions or less per month, then at most you want a 2 campaign structure. With a low conversion volume and low product number account, you don't want to split things up too much, as that gives too little conversion data to the machine for effective bid optimization. The next step is to launch the campaigns and observe the results. It's important to give the machine enough time to optimize before you make any judgment calls on its performance. People often talk about how many days or weeks you should wait. However, I think of it a bit differently. The best way to measure how long to wait is actually by conversion volume. When you get to about 50 conversions in a campaign, you can expect that the bid strategy should be fairly well dialed in by this point. It might still be a bit off your target, but the main point here is that if you are at way less than 50 conversions, like let's say you only tracked 5 conversions since making the change, then really don't sweat if your ROAS is not on target yet. Just give it more time and patience. At 50 conversions, I expect the ROAS to be close to my target, but I won't sweat it if it's a little bit off. Now, by the time it gets to 100 conversions, at this point, I expect the data to be good and to be a true steer of how well the bidding algorithm is performing. If I got to 100 conversions and the ROAS was way off target, then I would think something was up and I may need to change something. Understanding how much time or conversions to give the machine is a big part of using automated bidding and ROAS tiering well. So bear these benchmarks in mind: 50 conversions and 100 conversions. And don't make panic changes to your settings if you see fluctuations on the day-by-day level or when you look at small numbers of conversions. If you want to max out your profit on shopping, then you might like this other video I made where I share the playbook my team and I have developed that's allowed us to net over $50 million in revenue for our clients. If you watch that video, you'll understand how to use our playbook. And then if you check the pinned comment below that video, you'll see a link to a copy of the playbook, which you can feel free to steal for your own purposes. And if you enjoyed this video, then please do help out by dropping me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.